It's 9 o'clock and I'm hungry! Hello everyone, my name is Lisa and I'm the Viet vegan because I'm Viet and I'm vegan, and today we're making a very delicious meal inspired by a meal that I got sent to from Yam Chops. It's Mongolian beef made with soy curls, and I was like, holy moly, this is delicious. How do I make this? And I went on a big bender of researching how to make Mongolian beef, but it's more about the method of the cooking versus the actual flavor profile. We're on day 20 of quarantine. By the time you see this, it's probably a month into quarantine. I've been craving a lot of Asian takeout, so mostly Chinese takeout, noodles, stuff from Fat Choi, so it's Malaysian, oily, starchy, carby deliciousness. And so that's what I'm gonna channel. So we got a lot of ginger, we got a lot of garlic. Surprisingly, I always have those in my fridge. I usually let the ginger go bad, so this has been a really good way of me forcing myself to use up the ginger and garlic because it is fire. So basically, the main way to prepare it is by frying it first. What I've done here is I've hydrated these curls, so I use boiling water. I rehydrate for about 5-10 minutes, and I squeeze it as dry as I can. I also season it with a little bit of mushroom broth powder just so that it absorbs the flavor into the soy curls, because you're just frying it in straight up tapioca flour. I normally would use cornstarch, but I ran out because quarantine. So I only have tapioca flour, but they function as the same thing. I've used both in this instance and they both basically taste exactly the same. So I have tossed these in tapioca flour and everything is nicely coated. From here on, you can spray a little bit of oil and you can bake it until it's crispy, or what you can do is you can fry it. Frying is a little bit easier. I don't love frying. If you have a deep fryer, that's even better. And then we're gonna drain it over here. First things first is you're going to need one of these guys. This is a spider basket. I have one linked in my Amazon shop, but you basically want to fry them in small batches, because if you fry them in too large batches, the oil will cool down too fast and you'll have to fry for too long. So it's gonna get loud, but this is the main part of the cooking. So we're just gonna fry this because this is something that they do with beef. And so I emulated it to have the same texture with soy curls, and oh my God, it is a game changer. So we're gonna fry. Oh no. Oh God, it's stuck to this. Oh boy. Oh boy. I did not enjoy frying food. So you're gonna make sure that you kind of toss it in the oil a little bit just so everything kind of gets coated and fried pretty evenly. You just kind of want to break them up to make sure that they don't fry up as one giant clump like that. But you know what, that's fine. So you're just gonna keep frying in batches and you're gonna scoop it out. You want it to be this kind of golden texture. Since they're already cooked, they're soy curls, you don't really need to focus on cooking them. It's okay to cook it in really hot oil and it'll cook pretty quickly. That's fine. All right, we're just gonna check the oil temperature. Yeah, about 350, 375, that's fine. So I have it around a medium or a 6. I'm actually gonna turn it up a little bit. Since we've been doing a couple batches, the oil has cooled down a little bit, but that's fine. I'm just gonna repeat this until this is all done. I also have a different kind of TVP, which is kind of flattened and they're kind of squares. I think that you could do this in the same way. I just really like the texture of soy curls, so that's what I'm gonna keep on using. You know, you do whatever you have on hand. You can also do this with tofu. You can batter and fry tofu or bake tofu, and you can use that same sort of texture for this as well. Whatever protein you like. So for oil, I'm using a canola oil. You can also use peanut. Peanut is actually more traditional, or rapeseed oil if you want. Any sort of high temperature cooking oil. So something like olive oil probably wouldn't work. So peanut, canola, sunflower, regular vegetable oil blends. Those are my go-tos for frying anyway. Let's give it a try so you listen. The texture is so fun. Flavor, not great yet because there's no sauce. The texture of this honestly makes it so incredible. This is the most time-consuming part of the process. Again, you could bake it if you don't want to do this kind of frying. And the sauce takes literally less than 5 minutes to cook up. So this is a very quick dish once you get the frying over and done with. So everything has been fried. We have some nice crispy bits of soy curls. I doubled the recipe from the one that I've been testing, but honestly, I think I might just put the doubled recipe on the blog instead of the half recipe. Before we get into the other thing, we have this pot preheating, and over there, I'm gonna put some oil. You can use the oil that you were frying with, but this is just some fresh oil that I've put aside over there. I used a quart cup, but honestly, it might be a little bit much. So we have got our water in here. We have some dark soy sauce. If you don't have dark soy sauce, it's not the end of the world. You can just omit it or just sub in a little bit of oyster sauce if you want. It's mostly for color, but a little bit of umami flavor as well. So we have some dark soy sauce in there. Then we add in our brown sugar. We need a little bit of that sweetness. We have our regular soy sauce. This is tamari actually. You can keep it gluten-free by omitting the dark soy sauce because aside from the soy sauce, this recipe would be gluten-free. And then you have your tapioca. So this is 2 tablespoons of tapioca. And you're just basically gonna mix this all together and get rid of any clumps from the tapioca. This is about like 2 to 3 tablespoons of minced ginger. I say 2 to 3 because it really depends on how much ginger you've got. But yeah, we're gonna add that to the oil. You're gonna let that fry for about like 5 minutes. And while that happens, I'm going to press this garlic because I didn't think about that and I should have done that ahead of time. So we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what? Like 8 cloves of garlic. Use whatever you like. I like it pretty garlicky. If you're not a huge garlic fan, just stick with 5. I'm doing like 8 or 9. We're a pro garlic household, okay? We love our garlic here, especially because of this garlic press. It is a good time. Honestly, the amount of garlic that we've eaten since we got a garlic press has been exponential. I never let garlic go bad anymore because we crush it so fast. So that ginger is really nicely fried through. You're basically infusing the oil with that flavor, and then we're gonna add the garlic. We're also gonna use some chili flakes. I'm just eyeballing. You're gonna use about a half teaspoon to a teaspoon, depending on how much you like it. You're gonna add that straight to the oil as well. Whew, that's like spicy in my eyes, man. If you have whole dried chilies, you can use that instead of the dried chili flakes, but that's what I've got. Actually, I have dried whole chilies, but I just don't really feel like using it. So we're gonna add this sauce. We're gonna mix it up so that any tapioca that's settled to the bottom will get mixed through, and then you're gonna add it directly to the pan. Upon further reflection, you can probably reduce the amount of oil to 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons because I think I used too much oil here. But you're basically going to just continue cooking this sauce until it thickens up. It'll have this like really nice thick texture. You'll be able to run your spoon against the bottom and the sauce will just like hold up. It'll be real thick, you know? So give that a minute or 2 until that thickens. And that will be your sauce. So this is the perfect texture. You can see that streak, it's nice and thick. Then we're gonna add our fried bits to it. Oh yeah, oh my God, that is a luscious sauce. Oh, hey, you're over here, let's go. Yum, 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 yum. Then you're just gonna mix it all up in there. It's really hard to do with one hand. As you're mixing, you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is not enough sauce. It is, just keep mixing. Because I have a lot of little bits in here because I'm using bulk soy curls and I use the bottom of the bag that has a lot of little bits. They've absorbed a lot of the flavor, so I could use a little bit more sauce here. But if you're using like a proper bag of soy curls, probably don't have those little bits. It's fine, everything's fine. So at this point, once everything's kind of coated and sticky, you're gonna wanna add your green onions. Now I've cut these into like 1-inch chunks, and I think the green adds a nice little happiness to it, you know what I'm saying? And it's done. Doesn't that look delicious? Oh my God. So we're gonna transfer this to a serving bowl. And there you have it. Mongolian beef soy curls. I don't know if this is traditional. It's probably not, but I kind of want to add a little bit of sesame. So that's what we're gonna do, okay? We're gonna taste test a little bit because I also need to cook some greens to go with it. She's sweet, she's salty, fun texture, sticky. Oh my God, this is a good time. I have to thank Yam Chops for inspiring me to make this because it was so good. We're gonna heat that wok up again because we need some greens to balance this meal of protein, you know what I'm saying? My favorite way to stir fry up some greens is with a little bit of garlic, a little cornstarch. Actually, I don't have cornstarch, I only have tapioca, and a little bit of mushroom broth seasoning. All right, I'm just gonna quickly add a little oil. Not a lot, because there's already a lot of oil left in that pan. Just like a teaspoon or so. So we're going to crush some garlic. Like I legitimately use like 1 whole clove for this meal. I'm not even upset about it. No regrets. We got some garlic in there. It's gonna cook up a little bit. You just wanna infuse that oil with the garlic. This honestly cooks up so fast. Then we add the greens. This is some pea shoots that I have rinsed and drained. You don't need to do like a super good job of draining it because the water helps with the cooking a little bit. Plus it'll kind of steam out. So I have a bit of extra tapioca flour that I didn't use when I was dredging everything. So I'm gonna add a little bit of water to this, like 3 tablespoons, I don't know, quarter cup. You don't gotta be precious about it. I'm gonna add a 1.5 teaspoons of mushroom broth powder for that salty. As this continues to cook through, you can omit this process if you really want to, but I find that I like when it has that kind of sticky coating around the greens. It just gets like really luscious and tasty, and the tapioca starch cooking into like a thickened sauce really makes that happen, you know? So that is cooking through. It's taking a little bit longer than I expected. So I'm just gonna give this a little mix just to let anything that settled at the bottom to reincorporate with the liquid. And then we're just gonna pour that on top. And just like that, it kind of picks up and thickens, and it picks up all that garlic and makes it stick to the greens. It's a great time. It's a delicious time. Then we just kind of pop this in there. Oh, she's sticky. That's okay. Okay, yeah, bring your clumpy friend along. Yes, sure, great. We're gonna add some greens on there. Greens all up in there. And there you have it, my meal. Delicious. You got some starches, you got some protein, you got some greens. Trifecta of deliciousness. I probably should have a little bit more greens or a little bit more vegetable than that, but you know what? YOLO, it's fine, whatever. This is a good amount of food and I'm gonna eat it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy watching this hot mess cook you some delicious hot food. If you want the recipe, I'll link it down below. My patrons got a little sneak peek of this recipe ahead of time. Actually, they got the full recipe ahead of time. If you would like to become a wonderful weirdo, a patron on my Patreon, I'll link it down below. Absolutely no pressure if you don't want to or cannot become a patron. That's totally fine. We're in a weird situation right now. A lot of people don't have jobs. You know what? My job is a little, you know, iffy because the amount of money that I make from ads is going down because companies aren't buying ads. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you do, give it a like, comment down below what sort of takeout food would you like me to veganize next. I hope you enjoy this recipe. I'll link other fun vegan Asian recipes. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'm so sorry. I am very weird. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a delicious day. Bye!